Ken Ofori Atta no ana yenim say finance minister former can say why finance minister what me dey nako ana ne to address was or answer some questions be free inspector general free office of the special prosecutor Mr. Kisi Ejaben Elho. Also, as I said, na baby, eto sina baby, eto chamanti, what me answer questions. No, I'm at say, or the home, you can tente a granny free or my concrunga, na you want to say, Yantinica. We are a lawyer Paul Adom Otchere, and the vivid evidence we are about to abundant. I watch I say, when in baby a year, Mr. Ken Ofori Atta HS, Wakas winning man away the war. In the office of the special prosecutor, Emranon in Bramidin Common, he has a CCTV footage, a brana. Ken Ofori Atta, former finance minister, well, Mankungana, Adrian B. Free Ghana, and Yakobe for or OCCA. Yes, and Brennan could see Mr. Lawyer Paul Adom Otchere and CCTV footage on the better one thing.
And she sent it to us. So the video indicates soldiers, numbering about 15 of them. One of them is half camera, so we really couldn't check. But at least there are more than 10, numbering about 15 military soldiers, not police. They raided Ken Ofori Atta's house at Cantonment earlier today. Now, everybody was pointing to Dr. Kufu Dampare. It's not about Dampare. It's not Dampare. Apparently, the Honorable Kisi Ajabeng is responsible for this. And we don't know why. Kisi Ajabeng is responsible for the raid on Ken Ofori Atta's house this evening. Now, why are we saying this? Because we have now also seen letters that have been written from Kisi Ajabeng to Ken Ofori Atta, asking for Ken Ofori Atta to be questioned on issues relating to SML contracts. Viewers, remember that, the famous or infamous SML contract. So Kisi Ajabeng has written to Ofori Atta, asking him to answer questions on the SML contract. I'm not so sure who asked him to do that, but the OSP can have a mandate originating from his table. He can originate a mandate based on the broad mandate that he has. He can originate a mandate and say that I'm coming to ask you questions. He can do that. So in exercise of that authority, Kisi Ajabeng, the special prosecutor, wrote to Ken Ofori Atta. Lawyers for Ofori Atta responded to Kisi Ajabeng indicating that the witness was not in town. Ken Ofori Atta was not in town. He's in America on health grounds, and that they are able to answer questions on his behalf so long as he can produce the questions. Lawyers also promised that as soon as Ofori Atta arrives in Ghana, they will submit him to the office of the special prosecutor. As far as the lawyers were concerned, this was the conclusion of the matter. Now, they were told today that their client's house has been raided by soldiers. Quickly, calls went to the police IGP, asking Dr. Dampare, what is all this about? Dr. Dampare is thinking about himself, and that's what he told them, that I have not sent anybody to raid anywhere. The people who went there were soldiers. I don't have control over soldiers. I just have control over police. So the military, and this is the so I don't know whether the defense minister, Dr. Manibuama, is aware. But please tell Dr. Manibuama that I was mentioning his name. He's the minister for defense. And his soldiers, numbering over 10 of them, under the instructions of the office of the special prosecutor, as widely believed, raided Ofori Atta's house today. Military, not police, military. They raided Ofori Atta's house today, 3-4 hours ago. The story is on CTFM. Let's get a glimpse of how Channel 1 and CTFM put the story out, and then we take it from there. Do we have it's a very short story though, because it's still running. Ken Ofori Atta's home raided by individuals in military uniform. A group of individuals in military uniforms raided the residence of former finance minister Ken Ofori Atta on Tuesday afternoon. The incident took place in Cantonment while Ofori Atta was reportedly out of the country. However, some family members took place in Cantonment while Ofori Atta was reportedly out of the country. However, some family members, including his wife, were present at the time. The motive behind the raid remains unclear. Channel 1 news sources confirm that multiple uniformed individuals entered the premises, but it is yet to determine whether anything was taken. Authorities have not issued an official statement on the incident. Now, we know that from the videos that were made available, when the soldiers were coming out, they were not holding anything that they didn't have when they were entering. And we checked that to be sure whether something was taken out, because we had already read the story before this lady sent us the video. So if you look at it, the way the soldiers entered, it looks like that's the same way they came out. So they didn't take anything. The question then is mandates, authority, warrants, all of those things come into play. Because when the police are coming to your house to search you, let me have the photograph of the three of them again. When the police are coming to your house to search you, they would normally have a warrant. And in the police context, an individual high court judge can so moto, as they say in law, it means by himself, can so moto issue a warrant for your arrest. A high court judge can so moto and ex parte issue a warrant. Ex parte means they don't have to call you and come to the court. So moto means by himself. He doesn't need a motion. He can just do it upon his own motion when he's told that this person needs to be searched. So the police will normally do that. I believe that even under the rules, I think so, I stand to be corrected, that the Inspector General of Police can issue a warrant. I think so. The Inspector General of Police can issue a warrant, but the CDS cannot issue a warrant. The Chief of Defense Staff cannot issue a warrant over a civilian that they should go and search him. The Inspector General of Police can. So if the Chief of Defense Staff wants to search you with the soldiers, he has to go through the Inspector General of Police. But here's Kisi Ajabe, who walks around with soldiers protecting him. And I'm guessing that he sends soldiers to Ken Ofori Atta's house to go and search him. There's a lot more on this story coming up on Thursday. So much more is going to come up on Thursday. Here's the Honorable Ken Ofori Atta and his wife, Angela. Honorable Ken, don't worry. We know that you have not done anything wrong. Sometimes you become finance minister, and in your quest to do things, some things can go wrong. Everybody is blaming you about DEP, debt exchange program, collapse of banking, and all that. But in due time, I'm sure posterity will see what you did, if you did something good, and I'm sure that you did something good. So that's Ken Ofori Atta. Say a prayer for him tonight, because he's under Kisi Ajabe's radar. Here is Ken Ofori Atta and the learned Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams. I'm not sure when this photograph was taken, but this is the Archbishop who I'm going to talk about tonight, because he had a stupendous prayer session in Parliament today. And I'm going to talk about what the Archbishop told the MPs when he was praying for them. That's coming up. So that's the Archbishop, that's Ken Ofori Atta, and that is Angela Ofori Atta in an old photograph. Pray for Ken. Papa, you got to pray for Ken. You know, you got to pray for your man, because he's under Kisi Ajabe's radar. And Papa, this Kisi Ajabe guy has soldiers around him. And even though he was looking for Ken to answer questions, he was told by Ken's lawyers that Ken is not there. Papa, you know what he did? He sent soldiers to Ken's house. Papa, you got to pray for him. You got to pray for Ken Ofori Atta right now. And all Ghanaians. What about the gold? He said the gold too is fake. I said, what? How do they do it? He said, well, this is what they do. They bleed.
Second interview. Yeah. And around 8. They started 2 months earlier. Yeah. And you know what I'm say? Let's say. Also, what if you are open by member? The only party on employment and then go for your money. I think they need to find another approach on that.
Good morning, and I listen.
I'm glad we verify and I'm in Passament to us because we're saying this is from Kwabana Cora at a breaky. Bamiaka say the Fuchi district is the epicenter. Our recorded 38 cases and both deaths. While Agona West, Gumwa Central, Cape Coast, Commander Negua Brim have also been affected. Tigana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists,